So The Last of Us HBO series based off of the video game finished last night, and oh my god, what a show, man. Hands down, this show might be one of the best shows of 2023 and easily one of the best HBO shows probably produced ever. Hello everyone, welcome back to FraudOnTheTele. In today's video, we're going to be discussing and covering everything that happened in the finale, episode 9 of The Last of Us. I'm going to give you my guys' thoughts and analysis of this amazing series, an amazing episode, and I just gotta say right now, guys, The Last of Us is really something special as a television show. We got a lot to cover, so let's just get right into the video, shall we? So The Last of Us finale, episode 9 of The Last of Us, opens in a very interesting way with a flashback like many other Last of Us episodes, something that I think is an amazing addition to The Last of Us story. I already gotta say, every single flashback within this show has just made for a greater understanding and a greater depth, narrative depth, and character depth, you know, throughout the entire story. They really add all of these extra little pieces and really help immerse me fully into the world, and I absolutely love them. Like we said, episode 9 opens with a flashback into Ellie's birth, as we see a woman, a very pregnant woman, come running through the woods. This woman, very interestingly, is played by Ashley Johnson. We come to find out that this woman is Anna, Ellie's mother, and it's very interesting because Ashley Johnson just so happens to be the extremely talented actress and voice actress who plays Ellie in the Last of Us video game. She happens to also be a member of the cast of one of my favorite D&D shows ever, Critical Role, so that's pretty cool, eh? There's something interesting and special about the woman who played Ellie also playing the mother of Ellie in the show. It makes for this very interesting link between the two Ellie characters, and I'm absolutely here for it. As we said, Anna, super pregnant, comes running into this dilapidated house, trying to run away from these infected that are chasing her because she's super pregnant. We see she's about to give birth any minute now when she is attacked by an infected inside the house, which she manages to fight off and kill with, surprise, surprise, a very familiar looking switchblade. She ends up giving birth to Ellie here in this house, where she is found later by, surprise, surprise, Marlene and a group of other people. We learn that Marlene and Anna have known each other for basically their entire lives. Anna, though, unfortunately has been bit by one of the infected. She tells Marlene to take Ellie and take her somewhere safe and raise her, and please to end her suffering. Marlene agrees, taking Ellie away, shooting Anna in the process, and really the rest of the story is history, as now we know the context behind the relationship between Marlene and Ellie. Ellie, really, since her first moments being alive on this earth, has known nothing but despair, not even really knowing her birth mother and really experiencing the love of her birth mother, as she was taken away from her minutes after she was born. It's really sad, man. We flash back into the present, where we are treated through some extremely accurate scenes to the video game. Fans of the video game will know that this is the giraffe scenes, as Ellie and Joel have finally made their way to the city where potentially the Fireflies were in the hospital that could potentially find a cure through Ellie. Now, I love all of the unique differences that The Last of Us show has done throughout the series, but I also love when they take one of these scenes and do it almost exactly frame for frame to the video game, because some of these scenes in the video game are just absolutely fantastic. This giraffe scene here, one of these absolutely amazing, beautiful scenes. It's really interesting to analyze the relationship between Joel and Ellie here if we compare it back to the earlier relationship that they had. In many ways, this is the story of The Last of Us. It is not a zombie apocalypse story. It's a story of two people and how they connect emotionally, but how they connect emotionally in these extreme environments like the zombie apocalypse, for example. It's interesting because Joel at the beginning was this hard, crass man, a man who had lost his daughter at the very start of the zombie apocalypse, and as such, he kind of has this void within him. He is a dangerous, violent man. He basically has no time for Ellie over the first few episodes, then basically having no personal relationship, and the extent in which they communicate was really all on Ellie. Now, though, in these scenes, we see just how much Joel has opened up. In many ways, Ellie has become this void inside Joel. She has replaced this void of Sarah, Joel's daughter, as Joel forever has basically just been looking for this kind of companion. He's been wanting to be a father. I really love all of the little things that The Last of Us does here. Joel being the one that's more vocal, talking to Ellie, as in the past it was Ellie who was the one who was way more talkative. Joel now is basically an open book in terms of things of his past and how the world used to function. He just wants to make her life good. He just wants to protect her. So much so that he wants to turn back. Joel, in a way, doesn't want to finish this mission that he had set out with Ellie. He'd much rather just live his life with her together. Ellie, though, believes that they must follow through on this mission as they head down into the city center. It's here that Joel finally tells Ellie the true story behind his scar, the one that's on his forehead. The one that he originally had told her was from a bullet wound. Someone had tried to shoot him and they had missed. However, though, this was only partially a lie. The person that had tried to shoot Joel and missed was Joel himself, as not long after Sarah had died, Joel had felt that this was too much. He didn't want to exist in this world. However, though, when he had tried to shoot, he had flinched. He had missed. Ellie comments saying that the lesson from this story is that time heals all wounds, but Joel says, no, this isn't the case. It wasn't time that healed his wounds. It was Ellie. Like we said, Ellie has filled this void within Joel. In many ways, this is the story of The Last of Us. It's not a crazy zombie apocalypse story. It's the story of two people and these emotional voids that they fill for each other, and how their relationship over time becomes one that's extremely close, brought on from the scenarios and encounters in this absolutely insane post-apocalyptic world. It's beautiful, man. However, though, in the midst of this conversation, they are ambushed, surprise attacked by, surprise, surprise, some fireflies. Joel wakes up later in a hospital bed, Marlene speaking to him, Marlene telling Joel that they are there to do the surgery on Ellie, and that apparently they think that Ellie is immune because she has these cordyceps in her brain. She had developed these cordyceps in her brain really since she was in the womb, and it's possible these cordyceps could be removed and then used to make a cure. The only problem is, Joel realizes this, that in order to do this, they're going to kill Ellie. She must die in order for a cure to be made to save the rest of humanity. Joel immediately becomes emotional, saying that no, you can't do this. This obviously surprises Marlene, because Marlene has only seen Joel in one kind of light. She's never seen this emotional Joel. She's never seen Joel attached to anyone, let alone a small kid. And this is really when we see the culmination of Joel and Ellie's relationship. Joel refuses to let Ellie die. He refuses to sacrifice her to save the rest of humanity. A very interesting choice, and one that really makes us, the audience, wonder, does Joel do the right thing? Marlene orders that Joel be escorted out of the hospital and away from the city. As they're leading Joel away, though, he makes the easiest decision probably of his life, as he chooses to save Ellie, murking all of these people within the hospital, basically sacrificing the rest of humanity if indeed a cure could have been developed for her, all just to save this one life, this one person who he cares more than anything. Now, I'm not a parent, but this very much describes the emotional love and relationship of a parent to their child. I don't have kids, but I do have a bunch of cats, and I have to say that they're basically my kids. I would do anything for these beautiful little kittens. So in a way, I can just understand why Joel would do these things, as these series of violent scenes were some of the most violent that we've seen Joel do through the entire show, but also so different, because this violence is one that's done in kind of many ways for a noble purpose. Joel and Ellie drive away, Ellie waking up from the drugs, the anesthesia in the back of the car. She asks Joel what exactly happened. Here, Joel makes another very interesting decision. He lies to Ellie. Their relationship in many ways has been founded on trust, on truth, as that was a big aspect, this growth between the two, them coming to trust one another through being honest with each other. Here, though, Joel kind of betrays that trust, that honesty, as this is another dilemma that many parents, I feel like, come to face. Do you lie to your child if you believe it is in their best interest? Do you lie to your child to protect them? Joel does this, saving Ellie from all the details, as he tells her that, basically, the Fireflies had stopped looking for a cure. They had found many others like her who were also resistant, immune to the disease, and that they've basically given up trying to find a cure, something that we know is probably the farthest from the truth that he could tell. Ellie, it seems, knows this as well, as we can see from this look on her face that she believes probably that Joel is lying, but she can't come to grips accepting this, accepting that one, that Joel would lie to her, accepting that two, basically her entire life purpose and goal up to this point was kind of all for nothing. Joel was willing to throw that away just for their relationship. The Last of Us is absolutely amazing, man. As a video game, really, this is one of the best stories probably in any video game ever, in my opinion. And I have to say that I'm genuinely shocked and surprised by just how amazing the HBO live-action series adaptation has been. This show in season is fantastic. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's an amazing display of real, raw human emotions and relationships. It somehow encapsulated everything that was good about the Last of Us video game, and it made it even better, man. This show is easily one of the best shows of 2023, easily one of the best shows ever, maybe, and probably the best video game and adaptation into media, into film, ever. Who knows what's going to happen in Season 2 or Part 2 of The Last of Us? Will they be able to continue to do their magic here on HBO, on the screen? I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. For now, though, I'm just going to revel in the amazingness of The Last of Us Season 1 as a standalone show, because it's just bloody freaking brilliant, man. And it's definitely going to leave a lasting impact on me for some time to come. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Season 1 of The Last of Us. Do you think it's as good as I do? Expect a full review of the Season 1 of The Last of Us in the future on this channel. For now, I just wanted to kind of get off my immediate emotions and kind of reactions and feelings to watching this finale, as this show, it's just so freaking good, man. It's just so freaking good. I wish at times it could have been a little more scary, but as a raw, emotional, human story, it really hits you in all the right places. The only thing that I can really compare it to off the top of my head is like the feeling that Everything Everywhere All at Once gave me. That same kind of real human emotional feeling as I'm watching this display of real emotional human relationships. And it's just goddamn beautiful, man. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go check out some of our other Last of Us content and other shows and media breakdowns. As always, I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Until next time, peace, love, Adu.
It was like 05, got my license to drive. Picked you up in my pop's car, went for a ride. Couldn't no one tell us nothing. That night was ours. All the stars aligned and you were so damn fine. Yeah, it was young love. Young hearts were so pure. We trust love is so hard to endure. A few years passed.